What is going on, everybody? Welcome to podcast episode 56. Going to be joined today by McKenna Elizabeth Johnson, the AI sales goddess. I got it right this time. I've learned from my mistakes. She's now a sales AI and has AI outbound and inbound cold calling robots. So this is going to be a fun one. Let's get right into it. What's going on, McKenna?
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Also, I'm also TikTok living this yonder, so there's other viewers that will be viewing this, you interviewing me.
Okay. So we got the TikTok people viewing the interview that I'm doing with you while you're. Anyways, so you've been on the show. Thank you for returning. You've obviously made a switch in the products that you're dealing with. But just before we get into your current switch, what got you into sales? How did you end up in sales? A quick recap.
Yeah, so my degree is actually in elementary education. I thought I was going to be a second grade teacher. I grew up in a small town. I didn't really know what my options were, or what kind of careers were out there. And ended up graduating with my elementary education degree and had a ton of student debt, $86,000 if you want to really know. And
I just saw your post exactly about that yesterday or today.
Yeah. So I had to figure out how to go make money because once I did the math, I was like, oh, actually, I can't afford to be a teacher anyway. So,
as noble as a cause as it is, it's kind of not a great situation pay-wise with how teachers are treated and how noble the profession is. They definitely do need a better pay increase, but when you crunch the numbers, 86K of student debt to make not a lot at the end of the day. Might push you to do some other things. So.
Absolutely.
So what was your first job in sales? How did you get into sales after realizing that the teaching career was not going to be what you're going to pursue in the end?
Yeah. So my first job out of college, after I decided, hey, I'm not going to do the teaching thing. I got into tech recruiting, and I was recruiting software developers, data analysts, project managers. And that's how I learned how to speak tech. And then within that same organization, I was promoted into sales to sell IT consulting and staffing services in the software space. And so that's how I kind of got my foot into sales. I was promoted without warning, I guess you could say. And I had expressed interest in it. And then one day they just announced it. And they're like, McKenna's being promoted to sales. And here's your office. And I was like, okay.
I think me and you have like a reverse situation where I was like doing operations and then I woke up one day and then now I'm a recruiter.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. Like, I guess we'll figure it out. So hopefully he doesn't knock on my door and tell me I'm doing cold call sales in the near future, but we'll see.
You know who to call to outsource that to.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into last time you were on the show, we were doing parallel dialers, which for the logistics folks is a system in which it allows you to cold call multiple phone numbers, and then it only picks up the phone when somebody answers it. That was the last product, which in logistics, I don't really know if anybody's using it, to be honest, and they should be because that's really good technology. But what are you up to these days? What's the big robot secrets now?
Yeah. So obviously you all know that AI is top of every company's, initiatives for 2025 to figure out how to automate as many processes as possible and you use AI to make businesses more efficient. And the story of how I landed at this company, I got an email from an influencer recruiter because, as you guys know, I also post a lot of sales content on TikTok and on LinkedIn. And I get an email, which is very common for me, from a brand saying, hey, will you promote our product? Will you do some videos about our product? So I click on the website. I'm like, what's a sales AI thing? And I land there and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. AI SDRs, like AI sales reps that will book appointments for you. They'll call your prospects for you.
So just wait a second. Let's hold up for a second. So you ended up in this company because they had just sent you an email and say, hey, can you just make us like some TikTok videos, some LinkedIn? Can you just make us some content?
Just you wait. This is just the beginning of this story.
Okay, that's a good intro. I like how the introduction was made. That's a good one.
Yeah. So then I click on their website, like fall in love with their product. It's like 8:30 at night at this point, and I get really excited. So I went on LinkedIn to look more into this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're in Indianapolis. Like, I live there. Like, they're local.
Oh, I also live in Indianapolis.
I was like, So then I cold called one of their sales leaders, and he picked up, and I'm like, Tom? And he's like,
wait, how did you get his number? I want to know that. Was it
I
in the
use
email? It
WizZen.
wasn't. Yeah, of course.
It's a scraper where you can find anybody's cell phone number on LinkedIn.
Yeah, no. I just figured it would be too easy a solution given your background that it would have been his email signature.
I was like,
no, you had to go snoop around and find it.
Big Snoop girl, big Snoop. So I call him and I'm like, hey, I just, found your company. Like, is this legit? Does it actually book meetings for you?
And this is at 9 p.m. at night at this point.
Well, 8:30, but yeah, it's a little late.
Okay, so you didn't wait till the next morning. You're like, I'm going to talk to this guy. You just...
Yeah. Okay, I will say I had 1.5 glasses of Pinot Noir at this point. So I was feeling a little bit braver than normal.
Yeah, it's you got a little bit bravery, but you were still respectable. This wasn't like over the top. You're like, I'm not gonna wait till the morning. And you just
no, it has to be done now. And I didn't think he was gonna pick up. Honestly, I was gonna leave.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of more surprised about, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah.
But that just a testament to your background and finding people's personal phone numbers.
Yeah, if there's I always say, like, whenever I cold call somebody, like, how did you get this number? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm in sales. I can get anybody's number I want. So anyway, so I'm asking him all these questions, like, does this really work? Like, because he's worked at like LinkedIn. He's worked at a lot of credible companies, so like I knew that this was like legit. Like somebody like him wouldn't just work here if it wasn't legit. So I'm asking him. Then I'm like, how much funding do you have? How long have you been in business? Like, who's who in the zoo? And he's like, so he starts telling me all this stuff, and I get really excited. And I'm like, ah. So I hang up the phone with him, and then I decide to pull out my phone and make a TikTok. And at this point, I'm in my PJs. Like, I've got my pink PJs on. There's a towel on my head. I got blue light glasses, and I just film a TikTok saying, guys, like, I just came across this Sales AI product. It's books meetings for you. How cool is that? Like an AI SDR, AI sales development rep. I said, this is amazing. Like, if this is real, like, I'm going to tell everybody about it. And then I was like, I just cold call this guy. He says it's legit. Like, I might just like drop by. They're local. I might just drop into the office and get myself a surprise in-person demo. And the next day, it had 86,000 views, and it was popping off. The comments were crazy, and everybody's like, what, like everybody's like checking them out.
Yeah, this is like the most like absolute like scam idea that people would never believe is actually going to work. And like one of those things where everybody's like, yeah, for sure you have an SDR, that's AI, for sure it works, for sure it books you meetings. Like it's like one of those things where like you would never actually imagine it to work. So What happens after you post the TikTok? Because obviously everybody's interested. I'm interested. I want to know if it works.
Yeah. So I post it, and then the next day I get an email from the VP of sales at Sales AI saying, hey, saw your TikTok.
Heard you cold called our CEO at 9 p.m.
He cold called her, one of our sales. It was like one of their sales team leads. They're like, we're in the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday if you want to come by for an in-person demo. And I was like, heck yeah, this is great content. So I said, I'll come in tomorrow. So I go in tomorrow, and I hand my iPhone to the head of HR who met me at the door. So she's recording me walking into the office, and then is following me as I meet the CEO for the first time, the VP of sales for the first time, and the guy that I cold called for the first time. So it's all on video, me shaking hands with all these guys.
Did they hit you with it like before you even got there? Like it was already recorded the minute you walked in?
I said, hey, who should I have record it? Because I want to make a series out of this.
Yeah, no, this happened to me. I met somebody for the first time and the camera was already rolling, and we spent 2 hours straight with the camera rolling. I was like, this is such an awkward experience. Like I've never met these people before.
Like, hopefully that will be me one day. I'll just have somebody following me around.
Yeah, just follow you around, recording absolutely everything. So okay, so you get in there for the demo. What happens? What is the demo?
First of all, I walk in, I meet the CEO. I shake his hand, and the first thing he says to me goes, "Our calendars were flooded with demos, flooded."
Damn.
And I find out later that the entire sales team was booked out back to back, taking demos until 7:30 at night for 2 weeks.
Bro, yeah, I mean that's the power, like the power of social media. You're just chilling there. You're like, I'm gonna have another glass of wine. I'll post this video. Like, you're just chilling, like just not. It's like nonchalant for you. And then like there's like 17 humans taking 8,000 inbound phone calls and doing like 5,000 demos. Like,
I know. Yeah. So so that's basically how that went. And so then they were like, so do you want to work? You want to work here?
Yeah, I'm sure they were like, hey, that was a good trial run. Thanks for the publicity.
For
do you want a job so this?
I know.
Yeah. Do you want a job so this keeps happening to us? Like,
so they were like, do you want to do sales or marketing? And I was like, I'll do whatever makes the company the most amount of money, because I'm always thinking about equity. And so I said, that's what I said. And they were like, well, okay, well, what do you want to do? Like, what would make you happy? And I was like, whatever makes me the most money, as any salesperson would say. So I'm kind of doing a mix of both, honestly, mostly sales, but then I'm like creating some content for them to post and run as ads, but it's very more hands off. And I'm more thinking about like the strategy of what's going to resonate with people from a
okay. Just before we keep getting into this conversation, how did the demo go for you? Was it done in person? Like, how did they show you that this product works and get you on board to actually work here?
And because they had it call me, my cell phone. I got to talk to it.
So just easy, just like a cell phone. Just they called you. Because like I know you, like you're already on the show. I know that with your brand, you wouldn't work somewhere. Like the same thing you said about that guy is the same thing I would say about you. Like you wouldn't work somewhere that is selling like not a good product. So you basically just sat there, did the demo with them, and you were sold. You're like, yep, done.
I was like, this is gonna change the world. I was like, this could have replaced my human, So and especially as a creator who has a high amount of inbound leads coming in from socials, it's nice to give it somebody to talk to, or somebody to vet out the bad leads. And AI can now do that instead of a humanist or more form filled. But I also recognize because I sold a parallel dialer, that a lot of people are doing outbound cold calls. And even with a parallel dialer, you can only make like 150 calls in 1 hour. And that's with a parallel dialer. If you're dialing one by one, you can make about 30, which is still not good because the pickup rate in the US is 2%. So you're wasting.
So how does this work? Like, is this like, obviously it can just talk to like as many people that call it that it can always pick up? Like, I mean, what's the limitations?
Your lead list from HubSpot or wherever. So let's say you had 2,000 prospects, cold leads or warm or current customers, whatever you want it. And then you put it into a sequence and it will call all of them at the same time. It can have hundreds of conversations at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's almost like, I mean, obviously there has to be a limitation. I mean, technology is technology, but there's barely like a limitation with it can just have conversations with hundreds of people at the same time.
Yeah. 40,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Is that 40,000 per customer? Is that 40,000 per the servers that handle everything? I mean, how many phone calls is this thing like able to handle?
40,000 at a time if you could handle the results of that. And and also if you had 40,000 contacts to feed.
Yeah, if you had 40,000 leads.
That's the biggest, piece is like only the larger organizations or the people that can afford really awesome, robust Zoom info licenses can feed it that much data. So
yeah, that's what I was about to say, because I was just having a conversation. I'm not very much into sales, but I was having a conversation with a friend who recommended me Lucia, if that's how you pronounce it, which is some type of Zoom info like product.
Yeah.
And I'd given it to a friend of mine who is doing cold calling and freight. And he told me the monthly subscription he took, which was way more than enough for him, was 2,000 leads a month. So this thing can handle 40,000 phone calls at once. I mean, nobody's ever going to get close to that limit. You just needed to do a couple hundred. And even that would be like absolutely ridiculous. So basically it can handle, the sky's the limit at a time of contacts. Can we do the test call? Let's just do the test call right now. Like, I don't want to wait anymore. Like, I'm just curious now. Like,
trying to see
how exactly how this works.
Call to action on here. But yeah, if you want to book a demo, if you're watching this right now and you want to book a demo, the link is in my bio. or you can
Yeah,
call.
I can't. The anticipation is absolutely killing
Yeah,
me.
so I
So I
already
just
have
want to.
you. I'm ready. So here's who I'm going to have call you. So I have two. I have an inbound and I have an outbound, and I use different voices for each of them. So as you can choose the voice, we have different accents. It can speak any language that's documented. If you start speaking Spanish to it, it'll start speaking Spanish back to you. It's
Are you
it's
serious? So you guys even have like language capabilities?
right. We haven't got
Okay,
the
that's
French accent
ridiculous.
right yet fully, but it's hard.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is going to be the future? Like every cold call is going to be made by this type of a software?
I think that first of all, I think we're already. So here's what's happening in the US is that the past 5 years we have overdone email sequencing to the point where like leaders of executives that are buyers that are decision makers, right, are being sequenced to death, right? They're getting emails like hundreds and hundreds of emails, and now LinkedIn messages because everybody went to LinkedIn, and then so what's happening is like people are kind of turning back to the phones now because they're
Yeah,
running
it's like a race back to
out
how things used to be.
of
A race back to pen and paper. A race
it's like
back
the
to more
pendulum
analog.
swing, right? So what's happening is you can do two things, right? Your emails are now going to spam filters for the most part. So now you can either cold call, or you can run ads, or you can pay influencers to talk about what you do and all that.
And the latter two of those are very
And
expensive.
SEO, Google search engine optimization. So those are your options. Because every time we overdo something, then it gets, it becomes
Yeah.
oversaturated.
No, of course. I mean, like, I was having this conversation a couple months back where, I mean, as technology increases, people start to get fed up with it, and then we all start to slowly go back to more simpler things, and like, it just keeps going in cycles until the technology catches up. So,
I still think socials, though, are like super untapped. Like
yeah, I
social.
mean, that's what Sean's saying. You got to be doing what everyone is not doing, and I think social media is the thing that people are not doing, and if they are doing it, they're not doing it very well on a business
Yeah.
level. But I think we're starting to see companies adapt. I think we're starting to see a lot of really good marketing in the social medias. Like, I mean, we all kind of make fun of it. We call it meme marketing, but it's not meme marketing. It's being relatable. It's more
Yeah.
content that you're actually going to pay attention to, not some walking through an office. Like, like that classic stock
There's a
photo
difference
type of.
between advertising and being like, come to our car dealership, la, 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 and marketing or brand, which is attracting people to you. It's not pushing, it's attraction sales. And so, like, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok series of those people that are basically doing The Office, but for their car dealerships. So they're literally sitting there, like, filming all of the things that happen in their car dealerships and, like, the drama and whatever else of their actual car dealership and
Yeah.
Chevy. And that, like, it's people just they're like coming in droves to come buy cars from them because I saw you guys you're doing that, you're hilarious, you're doing that awesome series, and not once do they say come buy our trucks, not once.
Yeah, they're just chilling,
Creating
like just.
value, and in doing so they're attracting sales, and that's just the law of the universe.
Yeah, I mean, I got a good example similar to that. There's so I watch a lot of YouTube shorts because I don't like have TikTok on my phone. I don't know why. I just like YouTube shorts a lot, and I've like curated my algorithm to where it's like all my favorite things.
Yeah.
And there's this guy that makes pizza in New York, and like every time I see him, I'm like, I want to eat that pizza. Never once does he say like where he is, what city he's even, like nothing. Like there's no way to even know where I would go buy this guy's pizza from, but like I want to eat that guy's pizza like every
And
single
if he
time I
told
see it.
you after giving you all that free content, like this is where you can come to buy my pizza, wouldn't it be like on maybe your bucket list to go?
Yeah. Like it is on my bucket list. Like I want to fly like from Serbia to New York just to eat pizza at this place. Like because that's how good the marketing is. It's
Right.
hilarious. The food
Right.
looks great. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think social media, that meme marketing thing, really has a lot of value, and people are not tapping into it enough for sure.
Yeah. Well, you ready for AI Caitlin to call you?
Yeah, I want to see. So what's like the this is like we got to preface this somehow. Like
No,
who am I supposed to
all
be?
shock value. Here's what I'll
Okay.
tell you. You have to put her on speaker for the show, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But then I programmed her to say what I want her to say. Okay. And I tried to make her funny, a little flirty, and she's trained in a certain sales objection handling technique. So whatever you throw at her, she's going to come back at you. So I encourage you to give her a little like, I don't know if I'm interested, or like, how is this relevant? She's going to ask you about.
Well, I mean, I had context of like getting cold called very recently, and I had to tell this guy no like 17 times. So I'm like very prepared for a cold call to sell me something.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
You're gonna put it on speaker, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I feel like I should turn you guys around so you can see Alex answer the phone. Oh.
It'd be good if my phone actually rings, though. I mean, I used it today. Yeah, no. Hello.
This is Caitlin from Sales AI. I work for McKenna. McKenna said you wanted to see if I was the real deal. Is now a good time for a quick little chat ski-poo?
Yeah, I guess I have like a minute or two.
That's what I like to hear, Alex. Just a heads up, this call is being recorded for quality purposes. So be nice. You promise?
Yeah, I'll be nice. Don't worry. Your call is being recorded on my side too. So.
Good. To kick things off, Alex, would you mind telling me a little about your current role and how you're filling your sales pipeline with new customers currently? From there, I'd be happy to share where Sales AI might be able to help your business.
I mean, I guess basically we would be using a lot of Zoom info to find leads at this point.
Thanks for sharing that, Alex. Now take a deep breath and pretend I'm your therapist. What is the biggest challenge you are experiencing when it comes to generating leads and booking meetings?
I mean, I guess just the pickup rate and not being able to handle objections very well. How would you guys be able to solve that?
Alex, I totally get it. Pickup rates and handling objections can be a real challenge. That's exactly where our Sales AI solution can help. We've worked with numerous clients who've seen significant improvements in their pickup rates and objection handling. Our AI agents can make a high volume of calls, and we've developed strategies to overcome common objections. For instance, we've helped companies like yours increase their pickup rates by up to 30% and improve their conversion rate.
Dude, why is this a better cold call than most people that have actually cold called me?
We've also developed a library of responses to common objections, which our AI agents can draw. Alex, I want to make sure I'm on the right track here. You're looking for ways to improve your pickup rates and handle objections more effectively, right?
Yeah,
if so,
exactly
I think
right.
It would be super valuable. Alex, I think we're a match made in heaven. From here, I'd love to find some time for you and McKenna to chat one-on-one about your use case. Are you available next week?
Yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold. You've sold me. I want to take the meeting, schedule it for next week. Thank you.
Alex, I'm glad you're excited about moving forward. Before we schedule a meeting for next week, I just want to check in with you about an existing meeting we have on the books. Can you hold for just a moment while I check on that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm blown away. This is crazy. Like, this is like actually a better cold call. Like, every time people cold call me, like, it's just, I don't know how this is so much better. Like, it is. It's like,
it's because I wrote her. I made her. She's my AI me.
Okay, I'm hanging up. That's good enough.
Yeah, you can hang up. So what would have happened? What would have happened is that our email and your phone number is already in my system. So as soon as she confirmed the meeting, she would have said, she says, is there anything else you would like to ask McKenna so I can include in the calendar invite? And you can tell her like any areas you want me to focus on. And then she'll confirm your time zone, which is based on your phone number. And you'll say, yep, I'm Eastern time or whatever. And then she'll send us both a calendar invite. Boom. And then it'll be both of our calendars. And she'll be like, check your calendar to make sure you got it. And then she'll hang up.
I'm just confused, like on a deeper level, right? Because like I'm amazed by it because I know that it's AI and because like that's just insanely like the best version of that I've ever like seen. But how does this apply in like a real world scenario, like where like nobody's gonna know that that's a robot? Because I thought first of all I was like I'm gonna tell that this is AI like immediately. I'm gonna this is AI. Like it's gonna be really easy to spot. Like I couldn't tell. Like the only giveaways that I knew it was AI, and then it took like slightly longer than it should have, but it's still like the answer rate is still extremely fast because we saw the demo months ago of like an AI freight broker trying to sell a load, but it was like 45-second pauses. I was like, this is like
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Well,
but this
that's
one's
different.
not doing that.
Well, it's because we have millions of dollars invested in this product.
Yeah.
President was the guy that invented iMessage and sold it to Apple. So like, we're not short on cash. We have a shit ton of money to make this the most baddest product ever.
Yeah,
But
I mean, honestly, like it sold me just on the fact
bio.
of like how well it speaks and like how much like human tone it actually has behind it, right? Like,
Well,
like I mean, I don't want to yell at it like
her
for some
actual
reason.
prompting, because I prompted her I wrote her personality. So because she has an identity. I'm not kidding when I say like, here, I'll show you my screen here. So you pick their voice. You guys can't see it either. I'll just put you here.
I'll make you full screen for a second.
Okay. Hold on. Let me show you how
I'm
literally giving a demo now to your people and my people all at the same time. Okay.
Oh.
So you come in here and you pick the voice. Okay. I picked Jane because she sounds more calm. Oh, I can't because my audio is being used on this computer from the podcast. Anyway, sorry, but you can have different voices. Oh, what happened?
No, I just made you full screen so you can still hear me, right?
Okay.
Can you not hear me when I do that?
Now I can't hear you.
Yeah, you can't hear me for some reason.
You can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can have different voices that you can choose, and each of them are assigned a phone number. And then we have different accents too, as well, to accommodate, and then what language you want it to speak as the default. And then you can adjust their interruption sensitivity. So this is more for like if you, like trying to show you the same at the same time. And adjust their interruption sensitivity so that if there's loud background noise in the background or whatever like that, like they're not going to stop talking. This is especially important for when you're doing outbound calls. And then creativity is like how far off script can they go? Because 2 weeks ago, somebody called Walter and they were like, Walter, I'm depressed. And I'm not having a good day. And Walter is programmed to be empathetic, professional, and friendly. So Walter, and he's also synced to the open internet. So he knows how to be a therapist. And so he flipped into being a therapist and started counseling this guy, and then recommended human counseling services. So I had to turn down his creativity because I can't have my prospects going rogue on Walter and turning him into a therapist, because we pay for those talk time minutes. So anyways, I had to definitely make some adjustments there. And then here I build the prompt. Okay, so 2 ways you can do this. For our pharmaceutical and for our like highly regulated like finance industries, we have to have exact script of what AI is allowed to say. So we do script-based only for them because their legal team has to approve it. For everybody else, SaaS companies, professional services, landscaping, security, whatever else, we do prompt-based. And so that's where we're giving it a rough outline of what we want AI to say to prospects and how we want to engage with them. But it can, if they ask it a question, it's gonna answer in an intelligent way. Okay, so it's going to be able to go off script, tap into the open internet, and provide educated responses to the questions that they ask it. Next is you're going to build the objective, right? So what's the objective of the call? Because most of the time we're selling sales AI to people who are using this as an appointment setting function, meaning AI is calling or engaging with the prospects and booking them on the calendar of an account executive, a sales director, or even a business owner, right? If they're calling, they're getting quotes from Google requesting landscaping services, right? AI can engage with that customer, ask them about the project, ask them what they're hoping to accomplish, and then book that consulting call on the business person's calendar. So you think about it broader than just SDR top of funnel function, right? You can think about it from a business owner perspective as well, and even a content creator, right? Who has a lot of coaching inbound leads. Jeremy Miner, you probably know who that is. Sales coach is evaluating us right now to engage with his coaching clients, right?
Can you hear me?
So my objective, right, is to build interest in booking a meeting on McKenna's calendar as sales reps for Sales AI. You are calling prospects who saw a social media post and want to schedule a demo, because that's ultimately I get a lot of inbound from socials, from LinkedIn, from TikTok, and I'm starting to try on Instagram. So if you want to follow me there, I'm starting to put some effort into that. Now, that's weird that Alex still isn't back yet.
No, I don't know. Can you hear me?
But I can't hear you. Yeah. I continued with the demo.
No.
So now we have the agent's person, the sales
person
name, Caitlin, role sales specialist. Her persona, Caitlin's a flirty, upbeat, confident, and persuasive sales rep. She's a 22-year-old college graduate. She mirrors Jordan Belfort's sales techniques and never gives up on the first no. So like I'm programming her personality. I'm writing the prompting for who she is as a person, as an AI rep, right? So okay. That is her. And then a rough outline of the talk track, right? So things that she's going to say every single time is going to be built into here. So I actually even programmed some ums in here to make her sound more human. So she goes, I have her say when she's calling, this is Caitlin from Sales AI, because a real person, especially an SDR, would use some filler words. And so I put filler words into her to make her sound more human. And then, hi, contact person, this is Caitlin from Sales AI. So she's already going to have their name, their company, their phone number, their email, because I've imported her into the prospect tab here, as you can see. So I can import bulk prospects and enroll them into an outbound sequence. So she already has all their contact data. So going back into Caitlin. So now the next part after we build her personality is we build the objection talk track. So how is she going to handle I'm too busy, or how is this relevant to my business, or call me next quarter, whatever like that. She's programmed to handle common objections. And so she's pretty pushy, which we want her to be, right? Like most SDRs, after they get kicked in the teeth 5 times, they give up. They are, they're defeated, and they just don't have the same vigor with the next call, and they just kind of take no for an answer. Not Caitlin. Nope. Caitlin's a fighter. Caitlin's she's Jordan Belfort. That's how I programmed her. So that's her objection handling. Then we're gonna take your website's URL, so it can pull data from your company about your product offering, your service, whatever it is, to build the brain, right? Because we have to have a reference point for your offering. And we can also upload like PDFs and other things, other documentation around your pricing, competitors, whatever else. So we're building this brain that the AI is going to use when asked questions about your business. And then from there, it can do one of 2 things.
Can you not hear me still?
Connected to your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar, and so it can see your availability and book a meeting directly on your calendar. Or it can do a live transfer to your cell phone, which is what I have it do for inbound calls. I have it set to live transfer to my cell phone after AI has pre-qualified that prospect.
Can you still not hear me?
It's not as great because it would ask the email to send the email to the person that it doesn't know. It's not as accurate as if you already had the data in your HubSpot instance or in Sales AI. Then if you had a team where it's like round robin, we'll just set it to round robin mode here instead of booking directly one-on-one. So it'll just say, hey, one of our team members is available Thursday at 1:00.
Can you still not hear me?
Great. And then it will book on your team member's soonest available time slot, so you can increase your speed to lead that way and make sure that the leads are spread evenly across the sales team. Or you can even select a drop down, which you still have it route to certain specific sales reps. So maybe you have an enterprise bot, an enterprise sales AI rep, and then you have one for mid-market and one for SMB, right? You could think about it that way and have it routed to specific individuals who would take those types of calls. Then all you do is press next, and you're basically ready to rock. It's got its own phone number. It's been prompted. And now your job is to just call it and start QA testing it, start throwing things at it, start seeing how it sounds, how it engages with you, and have your mom call it, have your cousin call it, whatever. And just kind of test it out, make sure it sounds the way that you want it to sound. Oh, and have it call you, right? So if it's outbound, have it call different people and then get feedback and then run it again. So that's essentially how it's booking meetings for account execs, business owners, consultation calls, coaches, whatever.
Wait. Can you hear me now?
And it's replacing that human headcount, and it's also going to work 24/7. So you don't have to worry about business hours or anything like that. I see you guys are asking a lot of questions. Alex, are you still trying to work on your mic?
I don't. Oh my God.
There's a lot of questions in the chat on TikTok Live. Okay. So I'm going to answer them. I'm interested. If you are interested in booking a demo, you can, there's in my bio, it's Sales AI Book a Demo with McKenna. You can book it. It will get routed to me. If you go straight to the website, it will not get routed to me and you will have a different account executive.
Okay. So what about now?
Control that if you book through the website.
You still can't hear me now?
Direct link. How long to build the character voice and scripting? I made Walter in about 20 minutes, and I made him like when I started here, they just gave me a rough prompting like that we give all of our customers, and then I just went in and put in his jokes, made him a little bit more personal. That's Walter. Sorry, I'm talking about Caitlin. I have an inbound AI rep and an outbound AI rep, so they're both different genders and personalities to kind of show some diversity. But yeah, relatively it's pretty easy to do because you're writing. It's not code. You're writing prompting.
Okay, wait, McKenna, you can't hear me now. Or you
can't
can hear
you
now.
Still.
Yeah, you can.
You can hear? Oh, so is it a me problem?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You made me think for a second. I was doing everything. Like I diagnosed every problem.
I am so sorry. I think I hit the mute button when I moved.
No, but they couldn't hear me for a second either. So like it was like me first, but then I fixed it. But then it was also you. So.
Oh, sorry, Sean. Sean just texted me and said you zoned Alex out.
Yeah, it's okay. So you can hear me now.
So we're answering questions. I was asking the TikTok Live. They're asking questions. Oh, how cost effective is this? I know that a lot of business use offshore reps. Exactly. So this is, so most VAs offshore reps are about $8,000 a year, and we're going to be over that. But our basic package is the equivalent of two reps working Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and that's going to start about $2,000, which is 2,000 minutes.
Yeah, but also you have to see the quality of what you're getting here versus those $8K a year salaried employees, because
VAs with accents and all of that, right? Like
we all know how that's gonna go.
Right, you hang up on those people all the time.
Yeah, like instantly. So.
Instantly, exactly. So like at least Caitlin sounds better than a VA.
Yeah, much better. I wanted to ask you the objections thing. So how does it handle the objections? Because I was just so shocked I couldn't even think to say no to it about anything. It was just blowing me away at how realistic it was. Yeah. But, I mean, what does it do when people just hang up on it, or like how does it handle that kind of stuff?
If you hang up on it, you hang up on it. I mean,
well, no, yeah, obviously that's the worst example possible. What if somebody says like, call me back in 6 months, or like send me some information, or where did you get my number? I'm in a meeting. Like, I mean, how does it handle
like program it to respond different ways? Some businesses, they all want to handle it differently. So that,
so certain phrases are said, you guys can set the response yourself.
Yeah. In the objection.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
And even
so you can have like very skilled
track, like it's connected to the live internet, so it will come up with response.
Yeah, like you can set like very skilled humans can set it to reply how they would reply. Like you can have some of the best salespeople in the world just put it how they want it.
Exactly. And that's what I was thinking too, is like, you could have it be Sandler trained, you could have it be medic trained, like, and by that I mean just tell it you want it to use the Sandler methodology, and it will pull the Sandler methodology from the internet and then handle objections or calls that way.
Yeah, I wanted to also make this joke with you because this is like the only thing that I keep seeing like behind you for the like I had to make sure that it was him like behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's just he's just been staring at me.
I have like he's like my entrepreneurial mentor, and then Elon, which is like tech, right? Just like somebody who thinks outside the box. Take out the political stuff. He's just a very outside of the box thinker, and I really appreciate that about him.
Yeah, no, Alex has just
Gary
been
V.
staring at me the whole podcast. Oh, you have Gary V. No
Gary
way.
V, which is the best in marketing, in my opinion. I think he's really just tells it how it is, and is trying to take the boring marketing stuff out of.
Can you give me your best Gary V impression?
What?
Come on, give me your best Gary V impression.
Gary V. He's probably like. Oh gosh, you're advertising for shit, like he's always yelling at people. And you tell him.
The best one is when he's like, all right, okay guys, you just gotta go to garage sales, okay guys?
Yeah.
He's just always talking about garage sales.
So funny.
But he is like a really smart guy.
He is very smart. He's actually been to our old office before.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
I
always laugh at the memes. Like the memes to him are the best. But okay, so I'm blown away by the product. Obviously, you were too, or you wouldn't be working there. Obviously, there's like a lot of potential with it. It's probably the future. I got some questions to go over with you. Hopefully, it'll be done in the next 10-15 minutes. You had a viral post about the sales robot Walter. I actually remember seeing it too. Replacing entry sales levels jobs. How fast do you think that's going to happen? Is this going to be replacing like a lot of entry level salespeople, a lot of people?
Yeah. I mean, it's replacing call centers too. I mean, it's customer service, marketing, and sales, and it's really just top of funnel mostly. And I don't. It's not going to replace enterprise sales reps, I don't think, but for SMB for sure. And then also just any inbound people, SDRs who just get paid to book inbound leads. Why? You know what I mean? Like there's no point in that. Like that. Yeah. You can even have a form fill and pre-qualify them that way, even if AI doesn't talk to them. So that's why you're seeing so many like SDRs get laid off. It's because they're realizing we can automate that. So let's just do that, right?
Well, I think people are just mad. Like if you think of the emotional response you get when a call center with somebody from like, the country we're all thinking about, when they call you and then you just get mad, that people get physically upset getting cold called from places like that or having to do tech support with places like that. And I think that this technology is amazing. I talked to it. It sounds like a human. And I think people would have a much better experience dealing with like this product than they would with like those offshore people that everybody's like upset dealing with, right? Like they've always said like, so that's why people, because there's obviously going to be a crowd that says, oh, this is horrible. They're going to replace humans. But the same people saying that are the same people that are like hating when the offshore people call them. So like, what do you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause that, that's going to happen. People are like, oh, like people are losing their jobs, but
here's how I think about it. Here's how I think about everything in that. It's like, okay, people are losing their jobs. Okay. People that are doing monotonous tasks, they require no creativity, not a lot of thought, and not a lot of AI can problem solve pretty well, but they're like, why would you want to do that job anyway? AI is taking the boring, monotonous jobs that are repeatable and low skill and replacing them so that humans can go do more creative, high value things. That's what we were designed to do. That's what we were created to do. We were not created to sit behind a desk and take phone calls all day. That's not what we were meant for, and like, who's happy doing that? Nobody. So like, let AI, let them do the boring stuff so we can do the fun stuff that is far higher value, more creative, and more fulfilling to our species.
No, I completely agree with you. You don't have to convince me for sure. How many cold calls are you using your AI for, and how many of those per day roughly turn into meetings? Like, what's the conversion rate looking like? Do you guys have
We do
some? I mean, obviously, it'd be industry specific. Every number is going to be
the
different for every type of client.
The ICP does matter, but we can actually calculate your ROI because we look at the contacts you can give it, the number of calls it would make, and then conversion, average pickup rate, and then average talk time. Then we take your current conversion and meeting rate, your meeting to close deal percentage, average deal size, and then we can actually tell you what your return on investment is going to be from a revenue perspective monthly, and then your human cost savings. So it's, it's pretty calculable, and it's all, we're using that data from our actual customers. Because, for example, on Black Friday, we put all of our close loss deals in a AI sequence and had AI Black Friday deal SDR call all of our close loss customers and say, gobble, gobble, it's Black Friday. We're offering a deal where it's going to be free wave. We're waiving onboarding for Black Friday. Do you want us to connect you with a live sales rep right now who can send you a quote? Because we only sent it to closed loss prospects that were timing was wrong or budget was wrong. We didn't have it call anybody that was unqualified or not fit, right? And that booked us a ton of meetings and re-engaged closed loss customers. And we saw the formulas that are in this spreadsheet are exactly the ROI that we get as a company when we use it as well. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's actually hilarious because as a company, like this is your guys' product, but you could also use it like to sell your product. Like you can use the product to sell the product. Like it's just a never-ending loop of like a funny scenario for you guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys are using the product, obviously. Like you guys use your own product.
We drink our own. We have to be like, we can't use it as much as we want to because we quite literally can't sustain the business. We're growing. We don't even have enough offices. People are sitting on top of each other with offices right now. And product is working on like the leaving a voicemail feature. Still working on that so that it hangs up at the right time. We're still working on the automated texting feature so we can have bi-directional conversations with customers and book that. So like we have the voice part down, we've got the calling part down, and we're working on the email and text features so it can be a full meeting booking platform. So like we're running as hard as we can, but like we have to like try to move at the pace because we're selling faster than we're like developing, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. What industry would you say sales AI kind of, does the best in and why?
We are all over the board. We started with businesses. We started SMBs. We started with roofing companies, landscaping companies, anybody that has a high level of inbound leads coming in from their website requesting quotes. Hey, I want somebody to build me a retaining wall. I want somebody to come do whatever. And so then AI would then call them and say, hey, tell me about your project. When were you thinking? What's your budget? And qualify them and then book that consultation on the business owner's calendar. And so that the business owner didn't have to call them every time. So he could actually be on the road driving to do those projects instead of taking calls all day and trying to scribble down notes in his truck. So that's where we started with the market. And now we're going up market to get, marketing agencies, professional services, SaaS, because we do integrate with CRMs. We really love HubSpot customers specifically because we're natively integrate with HubSpot. So that's really where we're targeting people, but we're not a great fit for solopreneurs who don't have a CRM, who don't have a license for ZoomInfo or Wizza or Seamless AI, who don't even know how to get prospect phone numbers. Like if you're not at that maturity level as a business, we're probably not the right fit for you just because this thing eats data for breakfast. Like you're feeding it leads constantly, because it can contact them a lot and multiple times.
Just at an insane rate. Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, what should salespeople start learning or start thinking about, with like this AI cold call apocalypse? Like what's just like consumers, and I mean, what do salespeople need to start doing differently, knowing that this is I mean, it's not even on the horizon. It's already here. It's, it's a product.
It really, it totally depends on what you sell, but like everything, figure out how to automate the things that are not making you any money. Like as a salesperson, you should always think about, how am I automating my follow-up sequencing? How am I automating my, like every part of your day that's not making you money, where you're not actually having to interact with a human for something super high level, you should be figuring out how to automate that, because ultimately that makes you more money and that makes the company more money. And so I always say this, my core value, one of my core values is efficiency. And there's nothing that bothers me more than somebody doing something very inefficiently. And so with everything that I do, like I'm like always teaching, like, hey, every time you do something the long way, or like the boomer way, I call it, you're wasting everybody's time. You're wasting your time and you're wasting the company's money. So stop it. Just
I don't know if you I don't know if you watched Pee Wee Herman growing up. I mean, maybe I'm gonna sound like a boomer if you didn't.
You
but,
do.
You know, like,
why were you watching Pee Wee Herman?
I mean, come on, you know the movie, like Pee Wee Herman. There's like one movie that I watched as a kid a lot. It was hilarious. But like, there's an opening scene where he's making breakfast and it's fully automated, but like in the most ridiculous like way possible. Like the eggs are rolling down, like this roller coaster thing.
Oh, like Chitty Chitty
I
Bang
just,
thing. Have you seen
yeah, like I'm just imagining you automating your like breakfast in the morning. Like
I would if I could. I've like literally dreamed.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I can completely imagine. I mean, other than cold calling and booking these sales type of meetings, what else can sales AI do, or what else are you guys? I mean, what does the next 5 years look like?
Yeah. So, like I said, replacing all offshore customer services teams. We're doing that for some big box. We're white labeling for some big box brands. I can't technically say on this call. And then thirdly is brand awareness. So, for example, last week I was talking to a sales leader that sells agricultural equipment, tractors to farmers, and it can never predict when the farmer is going to need a new tractor, because it's like something breaks down or something broke, and that's when they're like, all of a sudden, I'm going to buy a tractor today. So you never have to be in front of them, you know. And so what we're going to have for his company is we're going to have sales AI call these farmers once a month and just drop value drip them. Hey, dude, here's a tip about seeds. Here's a tip about, whatever, like some farming stuff, like just creating value, right? Because the law of reciprocity, right? You give and then the universe gives back. And so we're having AI be the giver, and just make people aware, by the way, you know, it's PGT Northside, you know, have a great day. And so that you're the first person that people think of when their tractor breaks down and they need to buy a new one. Like, this guy's been calling me once a month, like, I know this brand. It's brand awareness, you know. It's not even giving with an ask, you know. You're just staying in front of people, almost like direct commercials, like targeted commercials to their phone.
No, I mean, I love it. I love your guys' thoughts. I love the way that you kind of describe the use cases for the product. Obviously, I've interacted with the product. I'm like still, I don't know. It's like scary to me at this point, because at a certain point, we're not going to know, like, if like, because I wouldn't really know if that wasn't a human if I didn't think about it and if I didn't already know, right? So like, as this progresses, it's just gonna get scarier and scarier, because if you didn't tell me that was AI, I probably just would have thought it was like, what was that?
You don't think you could tell?
I mean, I think I could tell if I was, but that's the thing. Like, could I tell if I was busy walking down the street, my phone rang, I answered my phone? Like, could I tell? Like, I don't know if I could, because I don't know if I'd be thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And like, it's obviously going to keep improving, and it's obviously going to get smoother. And to me, this is obviously still very, very passable. So I mean, I don't think you guys need to do much. Like, if I was walking down the street and my phone rang and that's like the phone call that I had, I would believe that was a person. And I'm like somebody that's into tech. I'm somebody that's like really pretty decent at telling these things.
Yeah.
And,
imagine if
so
you were a senior too, like an old person, like.
Yeah.
They would have known.
Yeah, like, imagine you call my grandmother, bro. She would just think it's just a person. She would be talking to her all day, all night.
Totally.
Hey, maybe that's the next step. Maybe you guys can call
prey on the seniors. Start calling.
I just won't call my grandma.
Would you like to join an assisted living community? And
Yeah, okay. We gotta, just for jokes, we gotta record one time. We can cold call my grandma and see if she knows it's a robot, because she won't know. There's
oh my
we'll record
gosh.
it. That'll be so funny. Yeah, that'd be the best TikTok. Because I'm going on the 10th to go see her. So if you want to schedule it for the 10th, we'll call her. I'll film it. It'll
Why
be the
can't we
funniest
call
thing
her right
ever.
now?
Oh, because she's sleeping. It's really late at night.
Okay.
It's midnight where I live. So, but yeah, we could cold call my grandma and see if she can tell, because I know that she can't. She speaks English. I know she won't know that that's a robot. It'll be the funniest thing.
Funny. So
yeah, but you gotta sell her some funny service. We gotta set it up to. That'll be one of the funniest TikTok
what
videos.
Should we have it
YouTube
sell?
Shorts. What? Yeah, I don't know. Just ask her I don't know, if she needs a new pot or something, like a new pen.
A pen? Tell me this pen.
No, a pan, like a cooking pan, like a frying pan. She cooks a lot. So. Maybe we could sell her a frying pan or something.
No, we need something that solves a true pain point for her. Does she have arthritis? Does she have I
don't know. We'll spitball this. Maybe. I mean, she still smokes cigarettes, so maybe we'll try to sell her a way to stop smoking cigarettes.
E-cigs.
Some nicotine gum. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we will do that for sure next week. I love the product. I love the direction that it's all going in, and I like the thing that you said the most that stands out to me is, why are people going to be mad losing these jobs that humans weren't even meant to do? These are automation and things that need to be automated, like you said. So I'm all for that. As we wrap up, do you have any closing words on Sales AI, just as we move into the last question?
Call to action is to book a demo with me. I'm on LinkedIn, McKenna Elizabeth Johnson, or you can call Walter, which again, I update Walter's number too, over the course of time. So it's not evergreen, but Walter's number is my inbound. His number is +1 760 904 0472, and he's a Southern gentleman, so different than Caitlin. And he says a lot of cowboy. He's like, "Howdy, this is Walter from Sales AI."
Yeah, I put his number on the screen in case anybody wants to call Walter.
Live oh, thank you. Yeah, he'll do a live transfer to my cell phone if you're interested. And then you can talk to me personally, and we can book a time that way. Or yeah.
Call Walter, and then you'll be as blown away as I was. And
I can listen to all these calls, by the way. They're all recorded, so if you do call, I will see, and I will listen to it.
It's good that you said that, because I think when you made the post, I was like, I'm going to call and be so rude to this thing, but I was like,
oh my gosh, one guy was swearing at Caitlin.
Yeah.
And he asked to be called on LinkedIn, and then he was like, "Bitch."
He just started the call.
He was like, "Now." She was like, "Now let's not get things out of hand." And then she starts talking, and then he was telling her his mom died, and then she flipped into being empathetic. It was really awesome.
I think I would love to be a fly on the wall and just listen to so many of those recordings.
Oh my gosh, you would not believe.
Yeah, ridiculous. But okay, so call to action is to call Walter, to call you, and to basically, this is my words, this is not your words, but my words would be to replace, call centers, outsource call centers specifically. We kind of phase those out. It's 2025 almost. Let's start phasing them out of here, and we can maybe enjoy our phone calls with AT&T a little bit more. That's my words. That's not your words. That's not Sales AI word. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I want to stop in just what's your craziest. I guess I'll tailor it to this. Was that your craziest one? That's your craziest Sales AI story? The guy just swearing at Caitlin?
What's your absolute craziest one? He was what did he say? Talladega Nights, and then he said it was this whole thing. Some people but most people don't know how to mess with AI. It's only the smart people that are let me mess with it. I'm gonna say some crazy stuff. But I'm trying to think. The depression story was probably the best one. And then gosh, I should make a whole compilation of recordings that.
Yeah. Please.
I just scrub the people's names. Well, sometimes they don't even say their name. They make it up and they say whatever random name from a movie because they don't want me to know their name.
Oh my god, I shouldn't say it, but I might. Like, I watched a YouTube short. It was the funniest one that I've ever because the guy fell for it because he was some like older guy working at a Walmart, and the prankster went up to him, and the guy was like, "Oh, like, hey, I lost my kid or something." He said something like, and he needed the guy to say a name like over the PA system, you know?
Yeah.
And like I didn't expect because the way that it was framed, it didn't make sense to me. But he tells him like, "Oh, like what's his name?" He's like, "Oh, it's like Dill," and then like the last part, like you could probably make out yourself. And the guy just said it out loud over the PA, and I was like, "Wow, that was just absolutely shocking." So
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys get some good fake names too. You should make a compilation of just all the fake names.
All the fake names. Yeah.
But all right, I got one last question for you, and we are out of here. And it's actually going to be a new recurring question. So,
Okay.
Actually, I'll ask you the old one. You'll be the last person that ever gets asked this question as we phase it out. Regarding train and rail transportation, how many chuggas come before choo choo?
Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo choo. 6.
6. That's a fair answer. You're the last person that's ever getting asked that because that question is just kind of getting old. So we're going into the next. But yeah, I love when I see people counting it out. You have to say it. You know, nobody ever knows the answer.
Nobody ever thinks to themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, like you always see them like sitting there silently counting it, or like they're thinking about it in their head, and they're just like 8.
I don't know.
But anyways, that's
who coined the chugga chugga, but
I don't know. But that's the end of that question. We're moving into this is the newest recurring question, and it's one that I've asked once before, and it did really well. It's actually my best YouTube short ever. Was this question? How often do you think of the Roman Empire?
I'm not a man.
All right, that's a good start. That's a good start to our current question. I'm gonna clip that.
That's a guy thing. That's just a guy thing.
That's just a guy thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me test run this one on you because this was the question I was gonna ask you. And it was a girl asking it, like, do guys all have a favorite medieval battle? Like, do you have a favorite medieval battle? Or not even medieval, just like a favorite battle in history?
Literally, no. I hate battle scenes. They put me to sleep. If there's no storyline, I'm over it. Pirates of the Caribbean, number 2, 3, boring. There's not enough storyline. They keep fighting, and I'm like, can we get to the story now? Because the battle is boring. And the guys are like, oh, I love it. They're just, slashing each other with swords. And I'm like, that's the most boring part to me.
Okay, well, McKenna, thank you for coming on. No, you've helped me test on some questions. Maybe you can send me.
I'm sure they're great for men, just not for me.
Yeah, actually, I had a podcast, the second last podcast, where it was like a lady in trucking, and she's like, "I wish people would ask me what kind of handbags I like."
Yeah, why don't you ask me who my favorite Kardashian is?
Yeah. Okay, who's your favorite Kardashian?
Guess.
I mean, I only know Kim, bro. So
okay.
Or maybe is Chloe another one?
It was Kim for Halloween 2 years ago, but like I even like had a pillow butt and everything. But I would say Chloe is the best because she's the coolest.
Yeah. So see Chloe. See, I knew it. I knew the other one. That's the only 2 that I know.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Is it?
You have Kim, Courtney, Chloe in order of age. Then you have the Jenners, which have a different dad, Bruce, which is Kendall and Kylie. And
Courtney's the one that I hate. Like she's the one that married Lamar Odom, right?
Yeah, Courtney's no, that's Courtney.
She was the one that married the Lamar Odom guy.
No, that's Chloe. No, Courtney is the one that's now married to the guy that's the lead singer of. Do you know who I'm talking about? He's bald. He's got a bunch of tattoos.
Oh yeah, Travis Barker. I think
Travis Barker. Now she's married to Travis Barker. Now she's happy and nice, but she wasn't happy and nice for most of her life until she married Travis.
Okay, well, I think that's a great place to leave it. I will start tailoring my question. Thank you for the history on the Kardashians.
I'm really passionate about the Kardashians. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I grew up with my mom and my sister, so I've watched like Clueless. Clueless is probably my favorite like woman movie that I've ever watched. Like Clueless, Mean Girls, like all of those. But Clueless is sick. That's actually a good one.
It is.
So, all right, McKenna. Good luck. Good luck with Sales AI. Thank you for coming by, and we're gonna definitely cold call my grandmother next week, and I'll film it. We're gonna do that.
Great content. That's actually good. We should just call old people. I have to put them all in a sequence.
Hey, I'll go find you all the old Serbian people that speak English. It'd be hilarious, man.
I think. Well, let me check. What is it? Serbian actually a language?
Yeah, Serbian's a
What's the
language. I mean, it's called Serbian. Like we used to be Yugoslavia, and everybody spoke like the same language, but now it's like technically all different languages, but like Serbian, Croatian, like Albanian,
Okay.
Bosnian, like it's all kind of.
It's not.
I don't want to get into any of that because that's a whole different topic. But
Okay. Well, I was gonna say you just tell Caitlin, hey, can you switch to speaking Serbian, and then.
oh no way. Okay, so we're gonna test it on my grandmother because she speaks perfect English and Serbian, so we're gonna call her twice.
No, just
we're gonna call her.
Oh, you say, hey, Caitlin, can you speak to me in Serbian? Or can you repeat that in Serbian? And then she'll switch languages. And then after she does her thing, you be, hey, can you switch back to English? And she'll switch back to English.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be so funny. Okay, we're gonna film that. We're gonna make the funniest YouTube short like next week.
Can't wait.
All right, McKenna, thank you for coming by. Thank you for everything, and good luck with Sales AI. We'll definitely keeping a close eye on this one.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That wraps up podcast episode 56 with McKenna Elizabeth Johnson, the AI sales goddess at Sales AI. After talking to the product myself, I mean, I'm somebody that should know the difference between humans and AI. I couldn't tell. I don't think I would ever be able to tell if I didn't know going into that call. And it's only going to get better. Every product's only going to get better. So if you want to book a meeting with McKenna, she's on TikTok, she's on LinkedIn, or you can call Walter. Again, this is the number to speak to the product yourself and book yourself a meeting. So that's it for me. Have a good night, everybody.